Hi, my name is Tanya and I'll be your trainer for this training on managing a group. I'm logged in as a group leader, so we're going to look from the perspective of someone with no admin access, simply added as the main leader or assistant leader of a group. So I'm logged in right now as Chandler, and I'm going to go over here to the right under my groups, and you'll see that I can click on my group from here. I can also head over to the groups tab here on the left, and I can find a list of my groups here. So I'll go ahead and click on the Bing group. Now this particular group I have set up as a small group. Groups don't have to be small groups. You can certainly create them for many reasons. And this particular training, we are just looking at managing an existing group. If you do want more information and strategy related training in regards to setting up and how you might set your groups up for your site, please do check out our group strategy recording. All right, over here, we're going to start with the Info tab, and this is where the photo for your group will be laid out. And then you're going to see a list of leadership. Scrolling down, you'll see any of the relevant information connected to this group. From a description all the way over to the location, which is a Google Map link here, and then other information here. The next page over here, we've got messages. This is where you as a group leader can send out messages to your group. Now, group settings can allow you to allow the group members to also send a message. They have a little less functionality in that, but you do have the ability to allow them to communicate through a group message to the entire group. So when I choose new message here, for you as a leader, you will see the ability to communicate with all the participants, the leaders, specific group members. If you enable your group members to communicate with a group message, they will only have all participants. So they'll be sending a group message to everyone. All right, let's just go ahead and choose all participants here. And then you choose who the replies are sent to. So if somebody replies or comments on a message, do you want all the participants to receive that reply or comment, or just yourself? And then we have the ability to pen the message at the top of the list. This is going to be rarely checked unless it is a message that you want to keep focused at the top of your message board here. And then you have your subject. And your message, your mess. And here's where you can add in your group message. And here is your group message. You can add a bold, italics, bullets, numbers. You can add in a link, an image, and you have coding options right here. You can use as many other tools as you would like if you want to do more of a newsletter format. I recommend Google Docs, using their newsletter, creating it there, copy it, paste it right here on your screen. You can attach up to 3 files that are 10 megabytes or less. Any file you attach here will also be hosted on the File tab of your group as well. Here you'll see a list of all past messages, and here's one that has been pinned to the top. So keeping it here at the very top of the page, I can click on that particular one and edit the message. And if I no longer want it at the top of the page, I can come here and remove it. You'll be able to manage comments. People leave a comment, you can read it, you can save it for all times, you can delete it even. You can search your messages as well. Now you're going to find messages on your home page as well, ones that you've sent out as a leader, and then your group messages will be listed there too. Next tab over is the calendar, and this is where your events are happening and hosted. Each calendar can be subscribed to. So if folks want their calendar to show up, or this group calendar to show up on their Google, Apple, or Outlook, or any other web-based calendar, you can simply incorporate and integrate them here. So you'll see I have weekly events happening here, and I have one-time events happening. To create a new event, you can simply click on New Event and choose the type of event you want to create. Rooms and resource needed events means you're meeting at the church. Usually that's what that means. Or you need to reserve a resource from the church. These events need to be approved by an admin for your church. The rooms and resource not needed event does not allow you to request a room, request a resource, but it does not need approval from anyone. So it might be happening at your house or at an offsite location and doesn't need to go through leadership approval. Now, some churches like all events to go through leadership approval. So if that is your church's standard, then you would use this one at all times. Once you click on the type of event you want to create here, that's when you begin to add in the information that you need. You can add an image to any of your events, a description. You can change who organizes it. It would need to be somebody else in the group, but you can add in someone else as the organizer, even if you're the creator of the event. The event phone will be Monica's in this case, unless I add in a different number here. So if you do need it to be the church number, but a different person's organizing it, then you can add in the church number here. Date of your event, of course. Time, and then set up and clean up. So this is an event that happens at the church location. I want to put in some buffer time for the room I want to reserve. So I don't want to show up at 7 p.m. and somebody else is already in there and they're finishing up their event. Instead, maybe I want 30 minutes to reserve the room in advance, but when I send this out as an invitation, it'll start with 7 p.m. And then I can put a cleanup time. I can make the event repeat, use an address other than your church address, and make sure they are required to register for the event, essentially. All right, this is when it shows me it's not approved, but it is a room and resource need event, so I can go ahead and request a room and resource. Now go ahead and watch our event training in order to see more about creating events and managing events. Just giving you a highlight right now so that I can show you the tools, but we need to move on to some other areas here so we can make sure and get all the tools covered in this time frame. All right, the next tab over is where any of your files could be listed. You can do a direct upload to this group. That could be photos, a birthday list, could be anything that you would like to attach here. Or if you did send out a message with an attachment, your file from the message will also show up on this page. You can delete, replace, and edit your files. Needs are a wonderful tool that helps you set up a one-time happening. You can duplicate these little items. So it's basically a checklist of sorts. So coming here to a need, you can see some of my past ones would be potlucks, meeting one-on-one. It could be dessert time, refreshment rotation. So maybe you rotate who brings refreshments to your small group. We've got a lot of potlucks. And a 24-hour prayer, helping families in need. So maybe there's a local disaster, some fires or flooding or anything like that, and you want to help out as a church. And then meals for folks if they have a baby or hospitalization. You can set up all kinds of rotations for that. Let's go ahead and click on the 24-hour prayer one. And you can see, hey, I'm going to set up my times here. And then people can take those needs. They'll get a reminder 2 days before. Now keep in mind, if you set up a need buffer time, so you create a need, you send that out, people accept it. They'll get that 2-day reminder, but not if you set it up 1 day before. So that's something to keep in mind with that. You can duplicate needs. So let's say you you do a regular meal for your group. I can go to a past one. So maybe I've set up a taco bar, I've set up a potato bar, salad bar. We've got all of those set up. All I would need to do is go to a past one, edit the need, and duplicate the need. So doing that allows me to change, maybe it's potluck April, and then I can come here and all I need to do now is add in my dates. So if it's for Friday, we're just going to add in Friday for all of these dates. I can add as many lines as I need, choosing save, and then inform the whole group. Super easy. Go ahead and send that out. I can put some text in there. I can even inform individuals outside of my group. So maybe Andy Taylor and Helen are going to join us for this particular potluck, we're trying to get them interested in our small group, I can go ahead and invite them to join us for this outside of being group members. All right, so creating a need, a brand new one, just simply choose new need, and then you fill in all the information. You can change who the coordinator is. They do need to be a group member, but you can have someone else be the coordinator. You can put in an address if they're meeting at a different location than you normally do, and then of course all of your requested items. All right, that's needs. The next tab I'm going to see is the participant tab. Now this little guy is visible for some group types, and sometimes it's not. Now as a group leader, main or assistant leader, you will always see the participant tab. However, if Sandra logs in, and this is a particular kind of group, she won't see the participant tab. So we'll look at those different settings in just a second. Over here, I can search for a particular participant. And then I can choose to add members. As a group leader, you may or may not have the ability to add and remove people. I'm going to go ahead with the concept that you may be able to do that, or that you would be able to add people. So I'm going to click on new member here, and I've got 3 options. You may only have 2 depending on how your group's set up. People by name, I can add directly or invite. Let's choose invite. I can add in some text there, and here I can say, hey Andy, are you interested in being a part of our group? Maybe the Fonz is interested, and we can go ahead and send out an invitation to these folks. The next tab over is people by search, and I'm going to again say invite. And here I'm going to have a few options that allow me to invite people en masse. So essentially I can go here, and maybe this is a men's group. I could go ahead and say invite all the men that are 18 to 118. And then I have all these other different options, family position. Maybe I'm just looking for primary contacts. Go to more about, and I've got military service, so maybe I want to start a military group. And then church defined, that would be anything that your church has set up that they would enable you to see. And then search and review results, and then I can invite all these folks. I'm going to cancel that, don't need to invite all of them. I also have the ability to edit the participant list. And this allows me to come to this area, and I can add or remove people from here. So let's say Elizabeth and Jim are no longer a part of our group. I can come up here and remove them from the group. I could also change them to be assistant leaders of the group. I have a leaders tab. I have an open invitations area. So here I can come in and manage this information for people. So maybe I've talked to all these folks, and I know that they're joined a different group. I can go ahead and remove them. I can make them a group member or an assistant leader. We'll go ahead and remove a couple people here. And then membership request. If someone requested to be a part of the group, I would see them here, and I can accept or decline their request. I can also edit the participant list from under the group actions page. Again, this is whether or not you have been given the ability to edit this list. Another thing I'd like to show you on this page is the legend that describes the communication settings for each person of your group. Now, when your group is set up, there's the default settings, and those should be displayed for everyone. And then if they go in and modify their own communication settings, you'll see a blue globe next to their name. So in this case, I do have people that have said, yes, I want to receive emails, or that was my default settings. They had a mobile number and a mobile carrier in their profile, and therefore they're going to receive text messages now as well. So you can see the correlation here. This little guy has received comments. So basic user here said, yes, I want to receive the comments, even though no one else is receiving those. So you can go in and modify things according to your own personal needs. All right, other things you may or may not be able to do is edit your group settings. So coming here, as a group leader, you could see 3 tabs potentially here. If you're given the ability to edit, but your admins have asked you to keep the settings as they are, but they just wanted to give you access to maybe change the description, add a photo, then keep that in mind, because the group type and then some of the information here is going to be helpful in their reporting needs. So keeping the settings the way your admins would like it to be is going to be a positive for them, but you can add in the other information here. We're going to say maybe it's a couples group, could do that. And then here, when and where, maybe we're changing the location, maybe we change that up every couple of months or something like that. The options tab, this is where it's going to determine whether or not the group members will see that participant tab or not. So members interact group is great for small groups. They log in, they have access, they'll be able to see each other in the group. The announce only is great for our children's ministry groups because their children aren't typically logging in, and if they were to, then they would not see the other members of the group. So that participant tab that I showed you is completely gone for members. Group leaders still have it, members will not. And administrative rarely should be used. This is a type of group where the group members, they don't know they're in the group, they don't know the group exists, so it's not a group that you use for events, for communicating, any of that. It won't be something that you use for the group members. Group leaders can communicate with each other and have events hosted, but not the group members. All right, the next one is invitation request required. And this means that they have to be invited to join the group or request to join the group. Open to all means they can just join the group. They don't need your permission to do it. They don't need an admin permission to join the group. They can just jump in. Now, another aspect to that is if you make a group open to all your group messages are visible to anyone who can access the group. Now, who can access the group? Those if the group is listed, anybody who logs in can see the group. If it's open to all, they can see anything going on in the group. If it's invitation request required, they have limited access to see information in the group. Public search makes it visible outside your software. So for your find a group area of your login page, it'll make this group visible on that page. This is group member privileges. So this allows you to allow the group members to send a message, allow them to create a new need, allow them to upload a file. And then here are those communication defaults. I recommend these settings currently. For a small group, you might include this. If it's a large group of people, you may not want that second button included. This one I don't recommend check for most small groups or even groups where the group members do not need a weekly email identifying any changes in the group for the week. And then, of course, you can save at the bottom. All right, the other thing you may or may not be able to do according to your group settings is update the contact information for the group members. So in this case, as a group leader, I'm Chandler. If I click update contact info, I can come here to my basic user profile. And I can edit for him on his behalf some of his contact information. And then here we also have send participant logins. Again, that would be a setting that's enabled, where you click this and then you can send out activation links to get people logged into the software. You've got the ability to record or edit attendance from this area. Watch our attendance workshop to learn a little bit more about recording attendance. You can also record attendance from the Lead app, and I'm going to put on the end of this video how to use the Lead app to manage your group. Send a TWAX, which is basically a text. Send a mail merge. A mail merge is a way of saving an email, so I can use it over and over again. I can create a new one here, or I can use one that I already have connected to my profile. One of the positive things to the email version using a mail merge versus a message is that I can add in their first name automatically for me. So using these merge fields, say I want to add in their first name, I want to add in their full name, email, etc. And of course you can add in images and so forth, just like you can with the message. You also have a print version option. Because I started with the group, it's going to come here and bring that group in automatically. And then if I wanted to add in other family members, I could. If I have access to another group, I could add that one in here as well. Here's my recipients. Choosing to send, and I'm just going to send the email version. Say yes, and send. Numbers that vary, it's because 2 people are sharing an email address, or several people are sharing email addresses. That's why you might have 8 versus the total 15. You also have the ability to print labels or name badges. Maybe it's your first time meeting together. You can come up here and choose some name badges. These are Avery size, and get them all set up and ready for the first meet time. And then we have reports. So under the report icon here, you've got a printable directory, a birthday list, anniversary list, etc. So you might find these reports helpful to you. And then you're coming down here, you've got events, etc. All right, to go ahead and wrap up this time, I do want to show you real quick recording attendance, simply because if you are a group leader, I don't want you to have to go watch more than one video. So there's a couple of ways from your group that you can do it. I'll show you how to do it in the Lead app in the next segment here. So clicking on Group Actions, Record Edit Attendance. When I use this option, it's going to pull in past events for me. It might be editing events. So if I've already recorded attendance, it'll take me to one that's already recorded. So I'm going to click on that option and choose to record attendance. And here I can check boxes. Maybe Gerard and Sandra are filming a movie, so they didn't make it. I can add in an additional number of people who are not here, but did show up for the event. And then I can add in some notes, prayer requests, praises, or any people information. I can then choose to email that out to leadership only, or the entire group in leadership, or to not email it out to anyone. And that's it, my attendance is recorded. I can always go back, manage my event, click on the attendance tab, and I can modify, edit my attendance. So I can always go back and make modifications if needed. The other way you can record attendance is by clicking on the event itself. So let's click. And then choose record attendance from there. And then everything else is the same. Now one additional thing, let's say I want to add in somebody to my event. I don't want to add them into the group, but I do want to say they attended this event. Then I can come here and add them in manually so that they're on the event list, but they're not into my group. All right, that's that's the information that you need for running and managing a group while logged in to the software. The next segment of this training will be using the Lead app. The Lead app is a free resource. To access information about the Lead app, you can simply click on Help while logged in, Help again, and then under Features, choose Lead app. And then you have frequently asked questions and how-tos. To install and set up the Lead app, you'll have instructions here, and then managing a group, you'll have that here. All right, stay tuned. We're going to start a segment on using the Lead app in just a moment. Now we're going to look at using the Lead app as a managerial tool for your group. I'm logged in as a group leader and I have accessed the group that I want to work with today. So if I click on groups, I will see a list of all of my groups and then choosing the specific group that I want to take a look at. I have attendance, calendar, messages, members. I see a group text option, needs, and if I scroll down just a little bit further, I'll see special days. So we're going to start at the top and work our way down. The first thing I want to make note of is that as you are using the Lead app, some of the things need to be started inside the software, such as an event. It does need to be created while you're logged into your group or into your software, to your group, create your event. You can view the event on your calendar and you can record attendance from your Lead app, but all of that needs to be set up first within your software. You can start fresh a message. You can add people to your group if you have access to do so here. You can send them a text. You can create a new need. And you can also come here to view anniversaries and birthdays. Let's start with the attendance option here. Here you'll see events that you can record attendance for or edit your attendance. Currently you'll see numbers on the right. This is indicating attendance I've already recorded. But maybe I need to access one of them and I want to add in maybe some notes. So I'm going to click on the edit option in the right corner. That's going to provide me with all the people who attended. I can record attendance here. I can add in some visitors. I can choose next, and I even have a did not meet option. Let's choose next. Maybe I want to add in some notes and then add that note. When you're ready, choose save, and then you're done. Since I've already recorded attendance for this one, I don't have the ability to email it out, but normally I would see the ability as I'm first recording attendance to email it to all the group members or to the group leaders. All right, let's head back and back again. Now I'm going to click on the calendar, and here I can pick a particular date that I want to look at and just view the event happening that day. I'll see all the information. I'll see those that are attending if I click on the attendee option here. All right, so I can view the events. Let's head all the way back to the message area. Here I can view a list of all the existing messages, and then I can choose to add a new message. I can send it to all group participants or leaders only. Cancel that. I can even click on a previously sent message. If I'd like, I can trash it. You'll see that in the right corner. All right, heading all the way back, we're going to look at the Members tab. If you were given the ability to update a profile, you'll be able to click on the profile here and edit in the right corner and adjust their contact information. I'll also be able to call them, send them a text message, email them, and depending on my access, Google Map to their address. And then down here, you're going to see information about their involvement. So you will get quite a bit of information on those that you are working with in your group. All right, heading the arrow going back, all the way back. The next thing we can do is send a group text. So that will be this option. And that's pretty obvious. You just send a text to whomever you, or to the entire group. Oops. Needs. Needs is a tool that you can actually start a fresh one, a new one from this area. Adding in your title, your description. And continuing to add the items as needed. Oops. Save it. And then send out as needed. And then all the other same managerial options are available for needs that we saw in the software. Next option is special days. This helps you keep track of people's birthdays, anniversaries. So I can click on Mike's birthdays coming up here. I'll see all the fun confetti saying, yay, celebration. And then I'll be able to reach out to him with a text message, a phone call, whatever it is I want to do with him and to celebrate his birthday. All right, that's all the tools that you have available to you as a group leader when using the Lead app. Thank you so much for your time, and you have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day.